I guess in response to your question that you asked me, I guess throughout a long time teaching, you see a lot of different things, a lot of different students, and you get a lot of different stories. And I know of a few interesting stories that come across my classroom. One student in particular had a horrible time one day of what appeared to be stomach pains, but could have been loud noises that he was making. Upon inquiring as to what was wrong with the said student, the response was that he had consumed more than the normal amount of gummy bears, and then proceeded to make noises in regards to how many gummy bears he had. So in order to maintain, class control, discipline, I sent him to the nurse to make sure that the gummy bear stomach problem was properly taken care of. Same student, a few years later, had another, and I don't like to use the word strange, a different approach towards getting his point across. And I saw the student walking around what seemed like constantly with his hand in the air, and some type of protest, and I quite frankly didn't know what it was at first, and someone had told me that he was protesting gravity, which I found to be quite interesting. So during like student council speeches or perhaps a mass, the hand would go up in a fist-like fashion.
I don't know, how do we describe him, it?
Can't do it.
I just really have no words to say.
What do I think of him? He's a very interesting character.
An interesting character, to say the least.
Interesting guy.
An interesting character.
He is an inspiration.
An enchanting tour de force of brilliance.
I believe he is a creature of many different emotions.
He's a beast sword fighter.
He is super cool.
He's done a lot of weird things.
I first heard about the Beast back in 8th grade.
It knows enough about pop culture to appreciate Lady Gaga and yet be his own type of monster.
It is a little like Lady Gaga, actually.
He just grabbed a couple stuffed animals and just started screaming.
Yeah, I should put him on the cheerleading team. He's a good flyer.
He is simply obscure. It sometimes can't figure out where its sweater should be.
So his legs were in sleeves.
I would say the weirdest thing I've seen him do is tape barcode stickers all over his face.
He actually submitted an essay that was supposed to be a lens and in response to 2 books.
We'll just be sitting there learning a topic and I look over.
But I guess he thought that he could just tell us about his weekend.
And he takes off his shoes, then he takes off his socks.
I had to give him a 0, but it was quite entertaining and I did enjoy the story.
And then his polo. And he's sitting there barefoot with no belt, no shirt.
Straddled my arm around his legs.
Whatever.
There were other people in the museum and they just walked by him, thought something was wrong, but no, he just grabbed the different, stuffed dinosaurs and deer.
My favorite bit of his is Mom, over here. He's the most overwhelming person I've ever met.
Likes to antagonize the other team and get them angry.
An extraterrestrial of sorts.
It's my favorite thing ever.
He's freaking crazy.
And everything he does brings me smiles.
He's ridiculously obnoxious and has spent the past 4 years annoying me.
And he does this great eagle sound.
I don't even know what he's doing half the time.
Came in and did a split in front of the class.
I hate him so much.
He scares me. The funniest thing I know.
He's real. You got that? Given the opportunity, I'd kill him. I want to be a part of his religion.
Super cool. I'm gonna leave it at that.
Don't look at me.
Never giving up.
Joe. Voluptuous Joe. Such a common name for such an uncommon person. I guess that's what Joe is. I'll fight you. Where it says date on Joe's papers, he writes America. where it says to write his name, he writes Voluptuous Joe. Voluptuous is an adjective that normally refers to a woman's hips. But hey, whatever works. Joe is definitely an interesting person, and it's been an interesting 4 years of interacting.
I'm gonna leave gym today.
I think my fondest memory of Joe is Halloween 2010. Most students produced quite elaborate costumes, but Joe came in wearing a garbage bag over his head.
Take my anger out on Mr. Connie.
And when prompted by another student, that student asked Joe what his costume was, he responded with, "I'm a garbage bag ghost. Food."
You listen?
One gym.
It's a rare person that wears that for a costume. That certainly is true.
Yeah, my mom got out of camera.
Sometimes there's a man like Joe who comes into your life. I taught him for 2 years.
This might be the single most racist thing I've seen in 3 years of educating. Not that one.
And I can't say either of us is any richer for the experience.
The Black Ranger wants to go to Howard University.
I think that's all I have to say about one Joseph Inoncillo.
What are you going to study there, Joe? What are you going to study?
No, it's the African American culture.
One of definitely the most interesting people to cross the threshold of Alberta's magazines.
Hi, my name is Andrew Markle.
My name is Sean.
And we're here filming the documentary of VJ.
Voluptuous Joe.
In other words, Joseph Inoncillo.
Yes, but of course that is only his birth name. He has refused to go by that name since freshman year when he insisted that Mr. Mello call him by his street name, Voluptuous Joe.
And Miss Fake.
Yeah. Joe, man. Get it. I'm not.
We're here to raise awareness of this individual and his actions.
Yeah, you need to be prepared to encounter him, and you need to something.
He has these really ridiculous dances. Do you agree, Sean?
I certainly agree.
One of his first dances here at Alberta's Magnus was the Thruway.
Darren.
Thruway is a craze dance that is sweeping the nation.
There is no joining Mudville.
My personal favorite is the Pederast.
I'll walk in right. Here, come over by this door.
The pederast is both strangely sexually alluring and legitimately disturbing, and it was named after a throwaway quote in The Big Lebowski.
The hype leg, which was a calculus-born dance.
It's a trig-born dance.
It's a trig-born dance.
Before learning our trig identities, VJ decided that Katala did not help him enough, so he decided to make up the hype leg dance.
It's fun for the whole family.
He also jives, possibly the most violent dance ever invented since the Cotton Eye Joe.
Especially if you're in the gym.
You're the receiving end of the jive. You're the receiving end.
Sorry, Alex.
One of my other favorite dances that he does is all of his various robot dances, where he acts like a robot. Particularly, he does one where he says that robots have hearts. And just in general, he is surprisingly suave while dancing.
I can't dance. I can't dance.
I know you can.
If I had a nickel for every weird thing that BJ did, I would have enough nickels to put into a gym sock and beat somebody to death with.
You don't want these shorts?
Where's Shotgun?
You still want these shorts? Now they're something. Now they're very
Yo, BJ's calves are so strong, they could pull a train.
He screeches when walking from class to class and says, "Where'd that eagle go?"
It's delicious.
BJ's idea of a formal greeting is...
Yep, that's his formal greeting. Formal greeting.
No, you gotta pass it.
Some things he does scare me.
They don't scare me.
Washington, D.C. drug bust was 1 through 4.
Damn it, Joe.
5 was
the top 10. You're barely involved in that. You're making your own movie with your girlfriend.
That's what we do. Guys and dolls. Looks like guys and balls.
And nobody understands what he says.
Except for Mr. Eric.
What is it about that cigarette that garnered so much attention?
The screen is also...
When we got stuck on the bus smelling like piss for 3 hours. It smelled like so much piss.
You gonna film? My project. Film this detention.
Is it detention?
Yeah.
BJ, do you have detention?
Yeah.
For what?
I kicked the freshman.
You kicked the freshman.
Kicked the freshman. Kicked the freshman. Why would you kick the freshman? Who gave you the detention? He was annoying me. I don't know. Who gave it to you?
Have a movie. Did Eric see it?
Eric, cool.
Oh, there's a pen up here!
His hip flexibility to weight ratio is just amazing.